Good afternoon and welcome to Yorkshire Voice and happy Valentine's Day. I'm Maisie Clancy.
And I'm Tyler Morell, and here's what's coming up on today's show.
Wakefield Council have commissioned a new scheme to help people control their excessive drinking.
Leeds-based dance studio, Koby Studio, is set to be demolished.
A newly opened bakery in Bradford has gone all out for Valentine's Day and decorated their whole shop.
And Holdsworth-based board game business Cards of Die has been shortlisted for a top award.
But first, here's the news in brief.
All lanes have now reopened on the M62 following a vehicle fire earlier this morning.
This pharmacist
the incident
in Wakefield
happened on
is
the
one of many
westbound
to adopt
carriageway
the new
between
scheme that
junctions
tackles
23
excessive drinking.
and 22
The scheme
near
is called
Huddersfield.
alcohol identification.
Women who work in Morrison stores and warehouses could receive an average of $15,000 after taking legal action. Current and former employees say that they are not earning the same as male workers who are doing the same job.
The new report has shown Bradford's food banks are regularly running out of sanitary products due to high demand. The report, written by Bradford Council, found many of the district's food banks were having to ration feminine hygiene products. According to the report, this is due to the sensitivities surrounding personal hygiene.
And finally, it is expected that York councillors are to agree on an increase in council tax and make over $4 million worth of savings. A budget for the next financial year is being put forward by Conservatives and Lib Dems, which they say gives more money to adult social care and children's services. It is likely a 3.25% increase in council tax will be approved.
A new scheme has been set up to help people control their excessive drinking.
Wakefield Council has commissioned the scheme, which offers free advice and consultation in multiple pharmacies around Wakefield.
I went down to a pharmacy and spoke to the lead pharmacist about this new scheme.
This pharmacy in Wakefield is one of many to adopt the new scheme that tackles excessive drinking. The scheme is called Alcohol Identification and Brief Advice Service. I spoke to pharmacist David Holdsworth to find out more.
That's a scheme that's been commissioned by Wakefield Council, looking at a brief alcohol intervention service, and they've commissioned it through several pharmacies within the city, and the scheme is designed to really act as like a screen for patients can come in, have a chat about alcohol. We have a very brief screening tool which we can work out where the person sits in terms of their alcohol use. I think the great thing that is being done through pharmacy is that it's so accessible, no appointment system, we're here quite long hours, so people can sort of drop in and we can have that initial chat about alcohol. A lot of people aren't even aware of how much they're drinking, and it's just for them to start thinking about it, and obviously from that we can look at the health benefits that can be derived. Obviously there's financial benefits as well. I think we need to get a real handle on how much they are drinking. A good idea is to do like a drinks diary. One thing that is important is people realising exactly how many units and actually putting it into an actual value. With wines getting stronger, beers getting stronger, we can show people exactly what 1 unit of alcohol actually equates to. And obviously there's a lot of variety out there in terms of glass size, strengths of alcohol. So if we get a kind of a handle on exactly what they are drinking on a regular basis, then we can look at how we can help, whether it be simple advice or encouragement or a referral to any further services that if they do have potential problem there.
Since 2010 there has been a rise of alcohol related hospital admissions and alcoholic liver disease, which the scheme helps to tackle. Tyler Morell, Yorkshire Voice.
A Leeds-based non-for-profit organisation is helping people in recovery.
The space was set up 2 years ago, and group supporters tell their personal experiences to help benefit and inspire others during their recovery journey.
Our reporter Maisie Scarf spoke to a recovery coach about what the organisation does.
Times in life when we just need to recover. We go through adversity, we have to deal with trials and tribulations, and we just need a little bit of support. Once people are on the journey to recovery with mental health and addictions, then they just need some support with getting life and moving on.
Recovery coach Neatha Uren is an advocate for taking steps to recover from life. After years of substance misuse, Neatha began her journey to recovery and helping others.
This time of year can be really tough, and I think it's really important to have people around you that support you, the friends and family that are positive influences on your life, and also, you know, just getting a few people around you who are kind of maybe a step ahead so they raise you up, you know, that all really helps.
My journey started when I moved to Leeds from Bradford, and I engaged in a prescribing service where I had to go on substitute medication for an opiate addiction, and then started getting back into social engagement, back into making new friends. I've got a peer-led support group now. You know, my peers are my support. That we want to get people involved back in life and doing stuff. You know, it's about empowerment. It's about thinking outside the box. Not all psychosocial groups. It's about doing things that benefit your recovery.
A charity that helps people who self-harm is appealing for volunteers.
Battle Scars is based in Leeds, and Jenny Groves joins us now from the office. Hiya, Jenny.
Hello.
So what is Battle Scars? What can you tell us about the charity?
Well, we are quite new as a charity. We had our first birthday only about a week ago, and we've only operating in Leeds for about 3 years now. We are survivor-led and survivor-run, and we have a very broad definition of self-harm. So include any kind of physical self-harm, whether it's internal or external, from pulling hair to scratching to overdosing, eating disorders. We also include the psychological side of self-harm, things like obsessive negative thinking and sabotaging relationships and stuff like that. It's very broad. And we are quite unique in the country because we work with people of all ages and all genders, so we don't exclude anybody. We run quite a lot of peer support groups in Leeds at the moment for adults. We're also setting up a group in Wakefield, then we're planning a group in Harrogate. So we are expanding out of Leeds pretty quickly. We've got a closed Facebook group for online support, which is for anybody, any age.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us, Jenny. Sorry, we're going to have to cut that a tiny bit shorter than hopeful, but thank you so much for that, and thank you for joining us today in the studio.
Thank you. So, 20-year-old student Chloe Tier has been listed on the 2018 Disability Power 100 as one of Britain's most influential disabled people in the UK.
An image on Facebook went viral of a blind person using their phone, which inspired Chloe to campaign to show that partially sighted and blind people are just as able to use their phones.
This week, I had the pleasure of speaking to Chloe about her experiences with living with a disability. Chloe Tier is an award-winning blogger who is campaigning for people to better understand those who have impaired vision. Working with the Royal National Institute of Blind People, Chloe is campaigning to challenge people's misconceptions. The campaign started after a picture mocking a woman using a cane while looking at her mobile phone went viral on social media.
For myself, since I've been using a long white cane, I found that people assume that if you use one, you're completely blind, whereas sight loss is a complete spectrum from being able to see not quite as well as other people to complete darkness. And it's actually only 95% of people who are registered blind or partially sighted who can see something. So there is such a small percentage of people that are completely blind, but the stigma is probably due to how it's portrayed in the media.
2018 saw Chloe named in the top 100 most influential disabled people in the UK, alongside journalist and comedian Alex Brooker.
I still can't believe I'm on that list, to be honest. I have only been doing what I do for 5 years, so I'd still consider myself pretty new at the whole thing. You know, I took a year out of blogging after I'd done it for a year and a half. I didn't really start campaigning until 2 years ago. So to be on the same level as people who've been doing it their whole lives, people who've got MBEs and, people I'd consider amazing people. To be in a room with them and to be on a list with them was really, really special.
The hashtag Blind People Use Phones is part of RNIB's How I See campaign and has been running since the beginning of the year. Chloe will continue her mission to combat stereotypes towards those with impaired vision through her blog and with the help of many charities.
February is LGBT+ History Month, and Leeds is hosting many events to celebrate the occasion.
One of them is called Youth Stop AIDS, and they're a group of young people campaigning to end AIDS. Chris Dow reports.
We believe, first of all, that the cause and the spread of HIV lies with young people, because you want to end it by 2030. If generations of people have HIV, the youth of today are going to be the way to stop that.
Youth Stop AIDS is a youth-led movement campaigning for a world without AIDS. It's a network of young people across the UK who speak out and take creative action and engage those in power to ensure that governments, global institutions and corporations are committed to ending AIDS by 2030.
I'm Ellie, I'm the president of Leeds Youth Stop AIDS, which is a network of young people who campaign for HIV, AIDS, we're activists essentially, and we have, so there's 15 groups across the UK, Scotland, a few in London, and on a university campus level, we try and make people aware that HIV is still a problem. If you can target young people with campaigns with access to medicines, they are going to be the solution with their expertise, their initiative, their voice. They can talk to the people who may be ignorant and complacent now. The government believe that the AIDS crisis was in the 80s. It's not relevant to today. But if you look at statistics, the statistics are saying that young people are disproportionately affected by HIV.
This month is LGBT History Month, and the campaign is focusing on its involvement in ACT UP Leeds.
The theme for this year is peace, reconciliation and activism. So if you break that down, it's saying that there needs to be peace amongst allies of the LGBT community, that means like heterosexual people, of within the homosexual community themselves, whether that means you're bi, you're gay, you're a man, a woman. Reconciliation is looking at the past and thinking, what have we done? What are we celebrating? Reconciling potentially where we may have gone wrong. And activism is like celebrating as well the wins that we had as far as activists were concerned. People like ACT UP, who are the AIDS Coalition to Unleash Power, and looking at the different groups, different individuals who made the community what it is today.
A Holdsworth-based board game business has been shortlisted for a top award.
Former teacher Anne Jones turned her lifelong hobby into a business known as Cards of Die.
She has just been nominated for Best Independent Business in Yorkshire Choice Awards.
Our reporter Jasmine Blacker spoke to Anne about what being shortlisted means to her and her company.
Anne Jones decided to turn her hobby into a profession and started the company Cards or Die with the idea to introduce and reintroduce people to the joys of board games. She now does that with regular evening events at various places across Yorkshire, including weddings, birthdays, festivals, retirement homes and team building days.
I was looking for something else to do to get out of teaching. So I suffer from anxiety and depression, and teaching isn't really kind of, I don't know, it doesn't really support that condition. So I was looking for a thing I could do to get out of teaching really, and I love board games and I always have, so I thought that, you know, perhaps I could build a business around that, and there were a lot of board game cafes opening in different places, so I looked at that, but I thought I'd rather do something more flexible, and so I looked at doing kind of pop-up events. And one of the things that I've tried to do is to have a range of events, but also to have some that are free. It makes it a little bit cheaper, because one of the things about board game cafes is it can be an expensive day out, you know, once you've paid for your food and you've paid for your table time and stuff. So I thought that might be a different business model. Board gaming is a really nice way to get people together from different, you know, different experiences, and, you know, as someone with like mental health issues, I think it can be a really a really positive thing, because if you're a little bit anxious in social situations, if you're going to a board gaming event, you've got a focus and you've got a thing to talk about. So you can come on your own and you can join a group of people, but there's no pressure to kind of make conversation or tell them stuff about yourself or anything, because you can just join in a game and then that is the focus.
The company has now been nominated for Best Independent Business in the Yorkshire Choice Awards.
I got an email telling me that I'd been nominated for Best Independent Business in the Yorkshire Choice Awards, which is just lovely. It's just so lovely that someone's nominated me and then people have voted, and it's just lovely. There's a ceremony in April, at the beginning of April. Votes close on the 1st of March. That's the last opportunity to vote. So I'll be all glammed up. It'll be dead exciting. I'm already worrying about what to wear, but so because it's like a black tie event, and I don't really think I've been to one of those before, so it's quite cool. As long as I get some votes, I'll be really happy. Just don't want them to read out my name and be like, no, nothing, nada. It's been really awful.
A Bradford-based community art charity, Hive, have organised the exhibition Worn Stories at Bradford Industrial Museum.
The exhibition explores the history of the textiles industry in Bradford and gives a chance for personal stories to be shared.
The textile projects, which are displayed at the museum, help to represent the city's culture and diversity.
At Bradford Industrial Museum explores the history of the textile industry in Bradford, focusing on stories from 1880 to today. The community-made textiles, archive materials and photographs explore the personal importance of the industry in the area.
Textile work actually happened in Bradford until quite recently. There was a decline in the 80s and 90s, but a lot of people were still somehow connected to the textile industry then. So it's not as far back in the past that people might imagine for Bradfordians. A lot of them grew up with family members working in the textile mills, so for a lot of us it's still living history and living memory.
Organised by the community art charity Hive, the exhibition has encouraged both historical and personal stories to be shared. The 2-year project exploring Bradford's heritage of textile recycling and reuse, with participants from around the city, has also helped to display the community's diversity.
Bradford is a very diverse place, and the community groups that we worked with come from right across the city, and so the communities we were working with were able to share their experiences of textiles in the city in terms of the work that their ancestors did when they first came to live here, and also their experience of living and working maybe in other countries around the world. So those commonalities of experience about textile production were able to be shared as part of this project.
The exhibition will end on the 10th of March, after which the displays will be handed to numerous community centres. Open to everyone, both Hive and Bradford Industrial Museum hope the project will help others share their personal memories and become proud of previously untold family history.
A dance studio in Leeds is set to be homeless later next month when the building it's housed in is demolished.
The Koby Dance Studio gives dancers of all ages a chance to learn and to strut their stuff. Olivia Dobson has been along to see what their next move is.
The building has been sold, which is due to be demolished at the end of March.
It means so much to these guys because they have literally created a one community. And it's just, it's, in a way it's very upsetting, but we're thinking positive.
Koby Studios was originally set up by 3 friends training in Manchester. They decided to create an urban dance movement.
Not really, because I think even though this is the place that it started, Koby is kind of within the people. So if everyone kind of goes to one place, then it's kind of got its environment back, if you know what I mean.
Yes, you know when you get a feeling about somewhere and you associate sort of memories with them and you're like, oh, I'm going to really miss that place, but if the company's moving with it, then that's fine.
People come to dance obviously, but also the experience. Most dance studios are just mirrors and bars, whereas this is just sofas, and it's just really wacky and it's just a great place.
The dance school will hope to find new premises as soon as possible so they can restart their dance classes again.
And now with the weather, here's Zohar Shah.
There is plenty of sunshine in Leeds today. It is relatively warm with a gentle breeze with highs of 11 degrees, cooling down throughout the evening with the temperatures dropping to 5 degrees. It's a nice day to go out, especially for Valentine's Day, without any worries as there is no sign of rain throughout the evening. And if you haven't got any plans for tomorrow, you should, as the weather is bright and sunny with the highs of 13 degrees in mid-afternoon and dropping down to 9 degrees in the evening, with it being partly cloudy. And it's looking like the good sunny weather is going to stick around throughout the weekend as well, with the highs of 12 degrees on Saturday and 13 on Sunday. And luckily, this weather is here to stay with the similar temperatures throughout the week. Hope you have a lovely evening. Back to Maisie and Tyler.
A newly opened bakery in Bradford has gone all out to celebrate Valentine's Day.
Mercedes Bake Shop has made special cakes, cupcakes and customisable gift boxes to celebrate the occasion.
The bakery has been very busy all week preparing for today and has contributed to making many people's Valentine's Day extra special.
Our reporter Zohar Shah has been down to talk to Mercedes about what she has been doing to prepare.
Mercedes Bakery is a newly opened business in Bradford. It's mainly family run and locals are regular customers. They make cakes for all occasions, and since it's Valentine's Day today, she's been very busy with the preparations.
For Valentine's Day, we're making special cakes for our customers, cookies, set boxes. We're also making customised selection boxes with all hearts and everything. So I've been preparing fondant hearts. I've made like 100 of them, and we have plenty of cakes available. It's been really busy, surprisingly actually. We've got sweet bags as well for the younger generation, and it's been really popular. So we've had people coming all week, and tomorrow I've had loads of inquiries. Do you have anything for Valentine's Day? So yeah, hopefully tomorrow we'll be here from like 6 in the morning to see how it goes. Hopefully it'll be busy. I think our most popular customers have been between 18 to 35, I'd say. There are young mums and students as well. They love cake and cupcakes. I think it's now where they like to pick up cakes instead of the typical Asian sweets or boxes of chocolate, which is the most common thing. And now cupcakes is something different. So they've been the most popular customers of mine.
Everyone has their own ways to surprise their partners on Valentine's Day. Mr. Heather's Bakery plays a special role in helping the people of Bradford make their Valentines a little more sweeter.
And that's just about all from us tonight.
Thanks for joining us on our last broadcast from the final year broadcast journalism students at Leeds Trinity.
It's been fun, hasn't it?
It has, I suppose.
Aww.
But playing us out today is a finalist from Headingley's Got Talent, singer-songwriter Kieran Edelston.
Take it away, Kieran.
Good afternoon. Stars shining bright above you, night breezes seem to whisper I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore tree, dream a little dream of me. Say nighty night and kiss me, just hold me tight and tell me you'll miss me while I'm alone and blue as can be. Dream a little dream of me. Stars fading, but I linger on, dear, still missing your kiss. I'm longing to linger till dawn, dear, I'm just saying this. Sweet dreams till sunbeams find you, sweet dreams that leave all worries behind you. And in your dreams, whatever they'll be, dream a little dream of me. Stars fading, but I linger on, dear, still missing your kiss. I'm longing to linger till dawn.